And as we start the show every week, we start it with the leadoff, and there's no other leadoff that we need to talk about other than Fernando Tatis Jr. and being popped for PEDs, an 80-game suspension, which will take him to about May of next year. He will not play baseball this year, and it's devastating for a number of reasons, but mainly for the fact that you have someone who is essentially the face of baseball, or was in position to become the face of baseball. A very, very, very good player, a charismatic player, an energetic player, a bit of a cocky player, that now will not play at all this season when his team needs him to play, and won't be playing for the beginning part of next year as well. And listen, I'm in the business of second chances in a lot of ways. I believe that when people pay their penance, they deserve second chances. So I hope that this is something that isn't held against him, but it blacklists him a little bit. It puts a black mark on the reputation, and what makes it worse is the excuse. And maybe it's a cultural thing, maybe it's a societal thing, I don't really know, but it's the excuse of, oh, I was taking this unknowingly to treat a different condition. When it come to find out, what he said he was taking was not actually what you take to treat that condition. Yes, the words are close, but they're not the same. And in a lot of ways, it seems as if it would just be better to be like, yep, I screwed up. I apologize. It'll never happen again. Now, there's no evidence that Tatis had been taking this while he was playing, and there's very good reason to believe that the use of PEDs was for a faster recovery to get back with the team who made all of the moves at the deadline, who put themselves in a position for a wild card spot because they are incredibly behind the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL West. But now they're going to be without their star shortstop, the shortstop that they signed to a 14-year, $340-something million contract. So a big loss. A big loss for the Padres, to be sure. A big loss for the fans who will not be able to see Tatis play and play in the playoffs, most likely. But also a big loss for baseball, because one of your brightest young stars is now out for 80 games. It's frustrating. And I don't know where you come down on the PED use. I don't know where, you sit as far as these guys being able to be in the Hall of Fame or not. And I'm not saying that Tatis was a Hall of Famer yet, because he still had a long way to go to prove that. But it just is unfortunate that these things keep happening without accepting responsibility for our actions. Oh, I was taking this to treat this condition, but it ended up showing up on the test. No, what you actually were taking were PEDs. Just own up to it, man. Just be a man. Just own up to it. Yeah, I took them. Okay, great. Thanks for admitting you're wrong. Let's move on. That's the thing, right? Is people are much more willing to forgive a wrong when you accept responsibility for that wrong. But when you dance around an issue, when you skirt around an issue, when you fail to accept responsibility for an issue, all you do is dig the hole deeper. All you do is show the immaturity that people are now starting to question. Which brings up a whole nother batch of questions. And listen, I like watching Tatis play. He's very exciting and a very good player. He's good for the game of baseball. But what I don't appreciate is the inability to accept responsibility when we do wrong. Nobody is perfect. People deserve second chances. But second chances aren't handed out like bubblegum. Second chances start with accepted responsibility for wrongdoing. You screwed up. People screw up. It happens. But accept the responsibility. Don't make up an excuse. Don't make up excuses. And that's where we're at with this whole thing. Andy Pettitte, long ago, accepted responsibility for screwing up. He's not necessarily considered in those conversations anymore. People are generally forgiving if you accept responsibility for the wrongdoing. So 23 out in San Diego, I hope that you get it right. I hope that you have these 80 games to reflect on the fact that you screwed up. And in screwing up, there's possibility for redemption, and that redemption comes from accepting the responsibility that you own in this situation. Wear it a little bit. But come back better. Get healthy. Stop taking the PEDs. Don't skirt the system. Play the game. That's all that we need. That's all baseball needs. That's all fans need. Accept responsibility. Come back and be the player that we know.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a